What's up, guys? It's Professor Gnome, and we're back with Temporal Forces. Very, very excited, and we're going to be playing Feraligatr up first, because this is the card that I just really wanted to try first. There's a ton of stuff in the brand new format, so many new cards we're going to be exploring, but I just love Feraligatr, and so I wanted to get this deck done first and just really enjoy it. There's a ton of different lists for this Pokemon. I'm going with the Palkia V/VSTAR variant. I think this one's probably the strongest, though for anyone interested in another variant, what you're looking to do is use this attack, the Reverse Thrust, in combination with the ability, so you're hitting for 150 and switching out, and doing like a hit and run strategy with Mimikyu and Klefki. That strategy is like good. You utilize Relicanth in order to do that. That strategy is good, but it's not the one we're going with today. I think it's just not as good as just pairing it with Palkia V. What we're going to be looking to do is use our Buddy Poffin in order to get out things like our Totodile very easily, Manaphy if we need it, and Bidoof in order to set up for our Bibarel plays. And we're going to be utilizing XP Share. This card doesn't really see a lot of play, but in this deck it's very, very beneficial since we're typically going to be trading, and we don't have a lot of great energy acceleration options right now. In the format, typically what we're going to be looking to do is put our Feraligatr into the active, or whatever we have in the active, put the energy or the EXP Share onto a Totodile, so that way when we trade, we're kind of always plus trading, and we don't really have to worry about energy too much. We're playing Irida because it's super, super broken in this deck. Almost everything we play is water, and then just grabbing our item cards is super powerful as well. We're also playing Artazon just to make sure that we're always getting our Totodiles and our like early board setups into place. And then for our A-Spec card, we're going to be playing Prime Catcher. This card pretty much just functions like Escape Rope, except you get to pick both targets. And again, that's super, super strong. We can rotate around with either attacking with Palkias for very consistent damage, or if we need one large hit, we can use Feraligatr's Giant Wave attack. So hitting for 160, using its ability to amp that all the way up to 280. And so yeah, that's the deck list, guys. Definitely let me know what you guys think of the list and how you would run it. We're new into the format, so I'm very, very excited to get into it, try out a ton of different lists, so let me know what you want to see next. Probably going to just kind of be doing them at random on which ones I'm the most interested in, but definitely let me know which ones you want to see next down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and let me know what you think of this list and how else you're planning on playing Feraligatr. I'm really hoping this deck can perform over the season. Iron Hands is going to be a little bit of a hard matchup, but if we can bypass that, we're in a very solid position. So yeah, without further ado, we're going to get into Game 1 in a moment, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into Game 1. Our opponent's going to be going first. We open a very awkward hand, but something we can use, so not the worst thing in the world. We do have the Prime Catcher available to us, so that'll work out. It kind of depends what our opponent's playing. Entei? Could be playing like a Gouging Fire deck, or just Entei Iron Valiant. If anyone's still playing that. I feel like that deck kind of died out. Guess they're just playing Charizard with Entei. I feel like one of for Entei isn't that bad, but I feel like 2 is a little redundant if you're playing it with Charizard. That's a cool switch. The OG switch art. It was a weird turn, but okay. Perfect. So I think we'll just get rid of one Feraligatr. Is fine. Then we'll Irida first, just to help thin our deck out a little bit. We'll grab ourselves a Totodile. Actually, we're gonna grab ourselves a Palkia. and a Puffin. So we can go Palkia down, Puffin for an extra Bidoof and another Totodile. Then we'll discard. Perfect. So now we can do that and grab ourselves another Totodile. And then we can place one energy down and pass our turn. So if they knock us out, that's totally fine. We can just manually go into our Totodile, Irida for our Palkia VSTAR, and... oh, interesting. We can grab ourselves our Palkia VSTAR and a Rare Candy, evolve right away. Palkia VSTAR, use our Star Portal, even though it's only for one energy. It's a little anticlimactic, but it'll kind of force us into the game a little bit. And we can kind of go from there. Which, in fairness, that's like the really greedy play. The more conservative play we can make is using Irida to grab ourselves in Ultra Ball, and using an Ultra Ball to get ourselves into Bibarel and trying to draw cards that way and just try to have like a more consistent turn, which is maybe the better play than wasting our Star Portal so early. So like we can go this and an Ultra Ball. That's probably for the best. So then what we can do is we can just go ahead, play down that, not have to worry about needing an Ultra Ball. I know I said I was going to grab the Palkia VSTAR, but we're going to play like a more conservative turn. So we're not going to play around having the EXP share. Grab that. Place that down. We can Industrial Incisors now. Perfect. Place that down. And then we can just actually end our turn here. They'll probably just knock us out, which is totally fine. What we're going to do on our next turn is evolve into Feraligatr, move it into the active, and go from there. They are playing Charizard EX. I kind of just assumed that was going to be the Pokemon Go Charizard at this point. But, I mean, this is fine, too. Yeah, I'm not really at too much threat of anything. I mean, we'll become even in prize cards once we do this trade back. And then what we can do is really just ignore the Charizard EX. And just kind of Prime Catcher and move things around just to get the knockouts we need. If they boss his orders onto the Croconaw, it's not that big a deal either. Because at that point, we can always go Palkia V, Star Portal, attack in, get the knockout, become even in prizes, and go from there. But that's not the choice they make, so it's okay. And we keep Star Portal alive, which is really the more important thing that we want to be able to accomplish. Cool, so we get to place the other Totodile down. Manually evolve here. We can Irida, grab ourselves this for next turn. Yeah, I think that's the play we want to make. And then we'll actually grab Earthen Vessel here. And we'll discard the normal Palkia. We'll place that down. Industrial incisors for 2. And then we can concealed cards for another 2. And perfect. So from here, we actually have weakness anyway, so we don't need to damage ourselves. But we could anyway, I guess, if we really wanted. We'll take the 2 prize cards. Perfect. So now what we can do is we can Irida on our next turn. Rare Candy onto the Totodile and be in a good position that way. If they, you know, decide to knock us out here, which I assume they will, it's not the biggest deal in the world. We can just go Palkia, trade the damage in. At that point, we have everything we need to Star Portal, and just kind of go from there. Actually, what's probably going to be the most optimal in this situation is that they're going to knock out our Feraligatr. What we're probably going to end up actually doing is just going Radiant Greninja. And yeah, I think that's actually going to be the play. Is we're just going to go Radiant Greninja into the active. And then just knock these 2 out. So let's just thin our deck out. See, we have 3 energies left in deck. We no longer need Manaphy. Don't need the Switch. We can go ahead and grab ourselves the Feraligatr. Rare Candy onto the Feraligatr. We will place Totodile down. And then from here, what we can do... Is it more efficient to draw? Yes. Alright. Place that. What we can do now... We'll grab ourselves another Feraligatr. And we'll grab ourselves the Rare Candy. Just for next turn. Unfortunately, we're in a kind of an awkward position, but not exactly. So what we're going to end up doing here is we're going to Prime Catcher. Pull up the Entei. Pull up the Feraligatr. Star Portal. I made a misplay. Yeah, we're gonna do it like that. I made a mistake that I shouldn't have made. I should have just stuck to the original play. I miscounted on Star Portal. I don't know why I didn't think I had the energy in the discard pile. For some odd reason, I just like had mind blanked and thought I only had 2. So that sucks. Hopefully they make a mistake and play something I can just like boss's orders and knock out. That's not the case. I guess I could 2-shot the Charizard if I have to. I think that's just going to be the play. Oh, I can't believe I messed that up so badly. Because if the Entei was still on the board, then my play was the right play to make. What I would have done is just Radiant Greninja for 2 prizes and then pulled up the Entei. This isn't gonna matter though, because we hit for weakness. He was better off keeping the Charizard in the active. In the end, it wouldn't have mattered because I could have done the same play anyway. Where like if Charizard was in the active right now, the same play would have applied. I don't know. I just made the wrong decision that made this a little bit harder than it should have been. But it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, what I could have done is play the Lumineon down, grab myself the boss's orders, there it is, and I could have just pulled this up to the active, whether it was in here, like, you know, originally here or not. And because I hit for weakness, I was just going to knock it out. So it didn't really matter, but I just made a lot. I made misplays that could have mattered, I guess. I just kind of mind blanked, and so like I should have stuck with the original Radiant Greninja play that would have got me in a super smooth position rather than like a little bit of a janky one. But it is what it is. That just happens, you know. Can't always be perfect, and just kind of lost sight of the game for a second trying to play a new deck that I don't normally play because it's brand new. But that's game 1, guys. Hope you liked it, even though I made that misplay, but it just shows none of us are perfect, right? So yeah, that's a little bit of an awkward one. I'll see you guys in game 2. Peace. Alright, we're into game 2. We're going to be going first. Kind of an awkward hand. But I guess something we can try to make work. We'll see what we get off the mulligan. They're playing Arcanine EX. Interesting. Weird that we got 2 games in a row, like, that, like, we were hitting for weakness in, because that's, like, not super common. I was expecting, like, maybe, you know, more gouging fire or something to make that the case, but, you know, this works too, I guess. Do we want to do... Alright, I think we go Radiant Greninja here. We Earthen Vessel the Switch away. Grab 2 more energy. We'll concealed cards. Okay, that's 2 more. That's kind of not what we're looking for. We'll get rid of this and 1 energy. Grab ourselves the Totodile. Place that down. Place the energy down. End our turn. So then what we can do on our next turn, even though that opening was a little awkward, pretty much what we can do is that we can place 1 energy down onto the Palkia VSTAR, or like the Palkia, evolve into Palkia VSTAR, Ultra Ball away 1 energy and whatever we draw, unless it's something like super important. Get ourselves the Feraligatr, Rare Candy onto the Totodile. That'll leave us with just Iono, and then we can Iono for a whole new hand and look to get an energy that'll allow us to draw with Radiant Greninja. So that's pretty much going to be the play. Though I kind of don't want to... Man, that's so lame. It's like I don't want to give them a new hand now. Because they did nothing. So I feel like at this point, we kind of edit the plan a little bit. Discard that, draw 2 new. Alright, that works perfect. So now what we can do is we can Irida, grab ourselves a Feraligatr, then we already have Rare Candy in hand, right? Yeah. So then we grab an Earthen Vessel. We can Earthen Vessel away the boss's orders, because that doesn't really matter anymore. For 2 more energy. Rare Candy. Bulb that. And then we can just attack. Knock out the Growlithe, which means the Arcanine EX in his hand is unplayable. There's our Bidoof. And we can't be knocked out by Entei by any means. We have a guaranteed knockout on it on the next turn. So pretty sure that's just the end of the game. How many energy do we have in the discard? Perfect. So even if they go and play like double Arcanine here, then all we do is search for a switch, bring Radiant Greninja into the active, and then Star Portal. But they didn't even accomplish that, so this game's pretty much over and dealt with. Arcanine just not really being the best deck possible to play. Yeah, don't really see a place for Arcanine in the current meta, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll subspace. Take 2 more prizes. Bop bop. There's the other Totodile. So we'll definitely do a game 3, because this one was much less cool. You know, the other one was closer than it should have been because I made a, you know, little bit of a potential sequencing error, though I guess it didn't really end up mattering. But this one, you know, we hit for weakness, so like that's cool, but this was more just like them not having a very good deck than us, you know, playing well. So we'll just throw down the EXP share and then attack, and cool, this game is over. That one's honestly not great. So we're for sure going to do one more, because that was anticlimactic to say the least. But I'll see you guys in game 3. Peace. Alright, we're into the 3rd game, and we'll be going first. We're going to mulligan this hand away, which is honestly not too bad. This is not bad at all. So what we're going to be able to do here is we're going to Buddy Poffin. And from there, we'll probably grab ourselves... Ooh, Sandy Shocks. Interesting. Alright, so we're going to Buddy Poffin here. Grab ourselves Bidoof and a Totodile. Then from here, we can Earthen Vessel. We'll get rid of the Iono for now. Grab ourselves 2 energy. Manually attach to the Totodile. And pass our turn. Then what we'll do on our next turn is we can Irida, grab ourselves Feraligatr and a Rare Candy. Place that, switch into the active, knock out what's ever there. Earthen Vessel for 2 more energies, and kind of continue the play from there. There's a Raging Bolt. I actually like Raging Bolt, but it's probably the new card I'm like the least interested in. That Iono kind of sucks. Hopefully we get something we can use. Alright, we're in this exact same position pretty much. So that's totally fine. We're literally in like the exact same situation we would have been. So we'll do the same play. So Feraligatr and Rare Candy. Rare Candy down. Energy down. Switch. Bring that to the active. Place down the Totodile. And then we'll spin for the fun of it. That's fine. Not super happy about it, but it's okay. Allows us to get some more Totodiles on the board. Why not? We'll go ahead and power ourselves up. Bop bop. And shebang, giant wave. Skadoosh. Takes out the Sandy Shocks. Grabs ourselves 6 and 4 in terms of our prize cards. Another. So we got ourselves an energy and a rare candy, which is fine by me. We're probably about to get knocked out, but that's okay. Does this have to discard it? Yeah, it does. So that's pretty good for me. Earthen Vessel. He already manually attached for the turn. Just kind of filling up his discard pile. Gonna get another Sandy Shocks. Magnetic Absorption. The question is, how do we want to go about this? We won't be able to one-shot it. Pretty much no matter what. So I think we place a Totodile into the active no matter what. We EXP share. Place one onto this. And then the question is, do we want to Lumineon for an Iono or for an Irida? I think we do. I think we grab ourselves an Irida here. We Irida. Grab ourselves rare can. Yeah. We grab ourselves rare candy Feraligatr. I didn't need the rare candy. I didn't realize I already had one. I should have checked. We'll spin. Alright, that's actually pretty good for us. Because here's what we can actually do now. We have 4 energy. We can get rid of this and this. Grab ourselves the Bibarel. Place the Bibarel down. 5 energy. Industrial Incisors. We can Earthen Vessel away this Bidoof. Thin our deck out a little bit more, but get ourselves some more energy. Then what we can do is get rid of this and get rid of this. Grab ourselves the Palkia VSTAR. Evolve the Palkia VSTAR. Star Portal. Place one there. One here. One here. Retreat out. Bring in our Palkia. Attack for 120. Guaranteeing the knockout on the next turn. And they only have 3 cards to work with. And we shouldn't be able to be knocked out unless they get rid of everything. So they'd have to Magnetic Absorption onto both Sandy Shocks, attack with Bellowing Thunder, and discard every energy in play. Which means they won't have... They likely wouldn't have the ability to attack us on the following turn after, when we manually attach onto Feraligatr. And they're in a position where we won't have to damage ourselves in order to get the attack, which will require them to have multiple energy to discard again. Perfect. So the plans all come together. So now we bring Feraligatr into the active. We can manually attach Irida again. We'll actually grab this. And this. Did not realize. So I'm gonna have to pivot the play a little bit. That'll work. Because I only need one anyway. This could be really risky, so I don't want to spin this anymore, actually. I'm just going to get the Artazon, just to make my life a little easier. Because if I had lost either of these, then I would have been in a really bad spot. We'll Nest Ball here. Get ourselves the Greninja. And from here... Yeah, we only need 80 damage. Like, stop. Alright. Then from here, we can Giant Wave. Get the knockout. Pop, pop. Double Feraligatr. Okay. So that was my biggest worry, was not being able to actually evolve again, which would have not been very good. They're going to need an electric energy. They do have the Earthen Vessel, so they will be able to use an attack. Not the biggest deal in the world. What we can do is let... So this Feraligatr is going to get knocked out, which is not that big of a deal. What we're going to be able to do is just kind of hold the Prime Catcher in hand. Go into our Greninja, let that get sacked. And if we draw into any... pretty much if we draw into any energy, we're just going to start discarding them. Because really all we're looking to be able to do is get into one more Feraligatr, where we can Prime Catcher up a Sandy Shocks and just knock it out. The only worry is them getting into... like I said, the only worry is them getting into like a boss's orders and pulling up this Lumineon V. There's not really much we can do about that. We'll place this down. And we're going to have to end our turn here. Which really sucks. Hopefully they don't have a fighting energy to be able to attack us with for one turn. But there's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's fine for us. As long as we get into like our Croconaw or something, we're fine. them taking more fighting energy out of their deck is not smart. Because they need it to be able to attack with Roaring Bolt. Or Raging Bolt, whatever. So we're going to actually Lost Vacuum just to thin our hand out. And also make this easier to KO. So now that's one hit KOable if that, you know, comes down to it. What we'll do is we'll Industrial Incisors first, keeping the energy in hand in case it can be utilized. We can EXP share down. Concealed cards. There's the Croconaw. Put that down. And then from here, we'll pass turn. The biggest worry now is that they... the biggest worry was that they would Boss's Orders up the Lumineon or the Croconaw, and we would just lose. But now that that's not possible, I don't think we have anything to worry about. But unless... they didn't use a Prime Catcher, so they could have that. So that's also an issue. So we could lose from like a Prime Catcher still. No, we're fine. Alright, so that's going to be the game for us. Was a little bit hairy towards the end. Our kind of like drawing just didn't really go exactly to play. And I'm sure I'm making a lot of misplays just because I'm trying to play a deck that's obviously like less than 48 hours old. So I'm definitely going to be prone to making some mistakes. But we are going to be able to get the knockout here. And end the game with some big damage from Feraligatr. I am happy that we got to play against another new deck, though, in the final game. Just because the other two were a little bit awkward. But there's the other Palkia and the Irida, thank you. To close out the game, we're going to be able to get the attack and end it. I'm not a huge fan of Raging Bolt. It's probably one of my least favorite of all like the new cards. But there's so many in this new set that I'm excited for. Incineroar. I think Torterra is like not very good, but very fun. The new Ancient box deck. I think Iron Crowns with Iron Hands is probably the new best deck in the game. I just think that combination is so powerful that I don't see it not being the best deck in the game. But, you know, maybe that's just new, you know, just because it's so new, I'm just very favorable to it. But we'll see. Definitely let me know what decks you're the most excited for in the comment section below. And definitely let me know what you want to see next on the channel and what we should explore next. I'm having a ton of fun already with the new set and very excited to kind of have more time and be able to put more videos out. But thank you again, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.